people going out the side door today. It is August 10th, about 9:30 in the morning. I wanted to go through the side door because I haven't really showed you guys this. So we got some plants from a co-worker who said that they were calla lilies. And I was joking with my wife because I was saying, they gave you corn. You didn't realize, but yeah, they gave you corn. They thought it was a joke. So it's not calla lilies. These are Canna or Canna. I had something similar before. These are like 4 feet tall. They're like huge. We planted them on the side here. Going to fill out this area probably with I want to get some kind of ground cover down here. As you can see, there's no mulch or anything, so also want to do that to keep down those weeds. And we actually have more of those bulbs, so this is another part of the side garden that hasn't been done this year. Because of the renovations and stuff going on this side, a lot of the plants kind of got mashed down here. So there's a couple of peonies bushes here. The Rose of Sharon, I'm not sure if I'm still keeping. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, well, you probably can. See all this? This is all Rose of Sharon that has kind of pushed out over time into this area. So the previous owners didn't really maintain or whatever this area. So I want to change that for next year. The antenna's coming out when the roof gets done. But yeah, I want to clean up this area too. So there's a good chance that I'll be planting more of the Canna over here as well. I think it will look good. But yeah, these actually do look really nice. It definitely gives a tropical feel to the house. So I'm definitely going to be planting more of them. But they're not calla lilies. Calla lilies typically only grow to maybe 2 feet high, and like I said, these are 4 feet high. But the flowers are very pretty. Anyways, let's do a garden update. There's some stuff going on over here that I want to share with you. Grass really needs cutting. Oh my goodness. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about or show you is about some Japanese beetles. So there were some beetles that I was noticing every now and then that were on the kangkong and some of the other plants. I didn't really notice any damage or anything like that, but from the research I did, they said if you have some Japanese beetles this year, they get worse successive years after that. So I set up a Japanese beetle trap, which is blowing in the wind. It's ridiculously simple. There is a scent attractant at the top. They come and land on here and they slip on the plastic and they fall into the bag. So this has only been out here like 3 days. On the bag, it's like a Ziploc Velcro thing at the bottom, so you can empty out and clean out the trap. And there's a bunch of beetles in there. Don't know if you can really see that, but there's like at least 30 beetles in there. So it's kind of the end of the season, and I'm getting beetles now, but I'm probably going to set up this again next year to try to get ahead of the issue. Probably one here and one on the other side, just to help life in general. Cucumbers, they've done so well. It's coming to the end of the season. I'm probably going to do a last harvest on these. In total, I think we had about 24 or 30 cucumbers that we harvested, and there's still a bunch on here. You can see the size of them. So, you know, you saw with the cucumber water and everything like that. So this week I'll probably do a last harvest on these and pull them out. Yes, it is. Can't believe it's mid-August. But they're becoming kind of withered and spent, the plants, so I'm going to pull that out. What is that? Oh yeah, the cilantro. I don't think my neighbors ever ever harvested too much from this, but they're coming into seed. So I'm going to try to collect some of these seeds and clean that out as well. The eggplant are just coming in now. Those are the flowers. Oh, let me pinch out that sucker. So I'm still hoping to get some eggplants before the season is done. Looks like we might get there. So that's good. Same thing going on here. I don't see any flowers on this one though. So let me pinch out these. Oh, but these were the backup ones. That's right. These went in the garden late. So there you go. The kale got totally destroyed by whatever. So I actually don't know what was actually eating it, but something was. Slug bait didn't seem to do any difference with it. So we'll call that a loss. That's the 10% nature tax that you pay when you do gardening. About 10% of whatever you plant, there's a chance it's going to get eaten by whatever's out here. So you kind of fight with the pests, but you can't battle nature too much. Is there a flower? Oh, there's one flower right there. Oh, cool. So this one's going to hopefully produce before it gets too cold. I totally harvested all of the lettuce that was in there. That was good. Still have some inside. I noticed that these eggplants, they love pushing out these in between sucker branches. So if you're not on top of it, you're going to get a really unruly plant. So it feels kind of bad to come in here and pop these off, but it will get really unruly and crazy if you don't. But just like before, eggplants are slow to start off, but when they do establish, man, it's just crazy how big these leaves are. There's like 16, 18-inch leaves. It's insane. Kangkong's still doing its thing. And some of them, if you notice, are actually vining. Like this. This goes all the way over onto the side. From what my wife's telling me, that's the way that they're used to seeing it in the Philippines, by rivers and stuff. So hence why it's called a water spinach. The potato plant. Oh man. I'm expecting some beautiful potatoes from this thing when it's done. I don't know if we're going to do it next year, but one year I will probably dedicate a bed just to potatoes, just to see. The snow peas that I planted, they've really taken off. They're doing well. It's above the cages, so that's great. Also, the carrots. I plan on doing another harvest slash in the kitchen video. And I want to do something with the carrots. The carrots look like they're doing really well. The peppers as well. The Scotch bonnet, I don't see any blooms yet, but doing strong. But the Hungarian wax, there they are. Now I found this interesting because other people that are growing this variety, they don't have their peppers growing vertically like that. And I wasn't expecting these to grow vertically like that. I'm also remembering though, back in at the other garden, I was not really successful in getting the peppers to grow on my side garden. Probably, whoops, almost fell over the sprinkler. Probably because they really need a lot of sunlight and they like heat. So, and my other garden was a north-facing garden, so it wasn't getting a lot of heat. So I'm glad to see that the peppers are developing there. The tomatoes, we have some issues here. And wow, okay. So let's talk about the issues. The issue is, I believe the cherry tomatoes might be going through a bit of blight. Blight is a fungus that affects tomato plants. and it will cause leaves to wither and fruit to turn brown and die on the vine, kind of like that. And it's not great for tomato plants. It's kind of contagious as well. This cherry tomato I did not get from my regular seed source. I think these are one of the tomatoes that were gifted to me. So I can't say the variety. The ones I usually get from the store are very what do you call very hardy. They're usually very resistant to a whole bunch of issues and diseases that affect regular tomatoes. And this, like I said, I don't know the variety, where it came from or anything like that. And this is the first year that I'm experiencing this. Now, keeping in mind, I am doing something different here than I was at the other house. The other house, when I was watering, I was always taking a garden hose and watering from the base. Here, because of the amount of beds I have, I've been using the oscillating sprinkler, which is great. It catches everything all at once for the times I set up on the timer, but it's watering from above, which some plants don't like. And it can cause issues like this. So next year, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to invest in setting up an irrigation system for each one of the beds, so they have drip irrigation at the bottom. But I didn't even notice this. These are yellow cherry tomatoes, because look at that. That is awesome. My issue is now, do I let this sit and see if I can control it, or pull out the whole plant? Everything, because if you look down there, that's a really bad case. And even though I'm getting a couple of yellow tomatoes, the problem is there's a chance of this spreading to the Cayman and Morande tomatoes. So far, that hasn't been the case, because if I look here, yeah, this is part of that. These are, once again, these are the seeds that I know come from veggies. And in general, it's in good health. Although, you see that? This was over here touching the other plant that has the blight in it. And actually, you can see some of the leaves down here. So it is transferring to the other plants. So, although the growth and rate and everything looks great, I am pretty sure I'm going to have to pull out those two middle plants to kind of control the spread of the blight on the rest of the plants. So I'm going to have to sacrifice some to save the rest. Something to keep in mind. So always bottom water your tomato plants. You can see the fruit are doing really well though. This is the Morande. This is the Cayman. Oops. There you go. That's a better shot of them. Doing really well. This cherry tomato over here doesn't look as bad as the other one. It doesn't seem to be as affected. So if I'm lucky, it's only one or two plants on the other side that I'll have to pull. These Morande as well, looking really good. Something to keep in mind when you are watering these plants, always water from the bottom. It helps alleviate issues that you may run into and you may have. There's a pepper plant in there someplace too. Oh, here we go. This is the other Hungarian. Oh man, this branch is really coming down. That's going to break. This is the tomato one. There's another Hungarian wax. There we go. See? Big peppers. Awesome. Now over to the melons. Let me show you my melons. The watermelons are doing ridiculously well. As you know, I didn't go in here and separate out because I couldn't backtrack through all the vines, but doing ridiculously well. There are 3. Come on, where are you? There you go. There are 3 watermelons here. That's like a really big one, and they're hefty. There's another 2 in there, so that's 5. There was another one. Oh, there's another big one down there. That's 6. And the 2 are first originals, 7 and 8. And you can get an idea of how big that is. So, doing really well. Vines are pushing out everywhere. And if I let it continue, it's still sprouting more watermelons. But I've cut back on some of these vines because they were trailing out a lot. And by cutting back on some of the vines, I also cut back on some of the watermelon that were developing on those vines. You can see where it was cut off over there. Once again, more watermelon coming out. But like I said, you don't want too many of them on your vines because you get excited that you have all these watermelon, but they'll never develop more than that. Is there another one over here? I can't remember if there's another one over here someplace. I'm sure as I'm pruning out, I'll find more. And finally, the cantaloupe. Remember what I was saying about late developer? I wasn't joking. So there's one here. There's 2 in there. There's another 3 here. Well, 2. That's 2, 3. The other one is 4. And, oh, there. 5. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's another one in there someplace. If I root around. But yeah, the cantaloupe is definitely a slow developer. So like I was mentioning before, it puts out a lot of the male flowers and then later on starts putting out the female flowers. And talk about development. Look at this nistrum. It's like cascading, it's flowing, overflowing. It's amazing. I'm pretty sure there's another one in there someplace. But from 1 to I think we have 4 or 5. And I'm probably missing something here. So just to count again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I said, okay, we'll call it at 5. Won't get too excited. But I am a lot happier that it's more than just the 1. So, things to do. Need to trim down this watermelon one, keep it going. The days are getting shorter, and it's actually cool. It's 9:30 right now. This morning when I got up, it was only 13 degrees outside. So, yeah, I have to start thinking about cleaning up. And I'll probably end up cleaning out about half this bed because once the cucumbers go, then the cilantro can be pulled out. It's a shame about the oregano. Never got a chance to do anything with that. But next year, since we are adding the 2 extra beds, we have plans for that. With crop rotation and stuff like that, I think we will probably do a herb bed as well. And I want to do trellises on each one of the raised beds so that it doesn't matter where we plant, we have and what we plant, we will have something for stuff like the vines, the potato plants, the snow peas to grow up on. So the trellises will probably go from east to west because the sun comes across here and tracks this way as opposed to from north to south. So east to west on each one of them. So that should be good. anyways, it's a good day in the garden. Watch out for another harvest slash cooking video, because like I said, I want to try do something with these carrots. Actually, that looks like a monster carrot down there. Actually, some of these might need to be pulled sooner rather than later. But yeah, and we can harvest like 2 tomatoes. But yeah, have a great day and a great weekend, guys.